Come on, Torn, don't take 3 turns. All right. YouTube, today we're going to be using a very popular and strong team recently that got top 4 at the EUIC International Championship, as well as second place at the most recent European Regional Championship. And yeah, it features dual weather with Torkoal and Kyogre alongside Venusaur, of course, a really strong weather ball. We've seen a combination like this before, back I believe in Series 8 and Series 11. It was a pretty strong duo back then, and it's been making a resurgence recently. It's been pretty consistent across the board. So I really do want to try it out in this series. And yeah, this is my version of the team. If you want to check out the details of the team down below in the description. But yeah, if you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. But let's get started and play some games. Grimmsnaw, Porygon 2, Zacian, Rillaboom, Zapdos, and Kyogre. All right, Porygon 2 over Incineroar on this team is a very unique adjustment right here. My Zapdos answers don't really exist if that's a safety goggles Zapdos like the original team that this is based off of. And yeah, that Zapdos could actually be quite a bit of an issue right here. Do I go with do I need Kyogre? I think I do, right? Oh, this is not really that amazing for me. All right, as Zacian lead, I need to go offensive against my opponent's team for sure. Zapdos plus, I don't know if I want to go Incineroar here. I feel like it's probably Zapdos, Kyogre, dish out a lot of damage, and then Torkoal, Venu in the back. Yeah, that actually might be my lead in play here. Because I'm trying to figure out, I need heavy damage in the Zapdos, and I mean heavy damage in the Zapdos immediately, and it's like really tricky otherwise to get the heavy damage. I might need Venusaur to deal with their Kyogre, and I think I need Torkoal as a Rillaboom check, as well as a Zacian check. I don't think Incineroar does it because I think I need the speed boost. So I can actually, like, in case that I need to make sure I get a hit off in the Kyogre with Divine Lash guaranteed, and I need to make sure that if the Zacian gets weakened a bit, I can threaten it with like a max or with a weather ball right here. We'll see. It looks scary. We're gonna see the Porygon 2 plus Zapdos lead. Okay, so this is pretty solid for me for the most part. I could Dynamax Kyogre. I don't really want Dynamax Kyogre if I don't have to right here. Okay, pressure on the Zap. Wait, why is it pressure Zapdos? Why is it not static? Huh. Trace my sword, doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go for Behemoth Blade, and I think I'm just gonna Origin Pulse. I need to fire off damage as quick as possible. I could sub here, but I don't think it's worth it. So yeah, we're gonna go for Behemoth Blade, Origin Pulse. We're just gonna go on the offense. If they want to knock out Kyogre, they have to go for Lightning, which means 2 Behemoth Blades should knock out the Zapdos, and I don't have to worry about static anymore, which is fantastic here for me. A Behemoth Blade plus Origin Pulse should just knock out the Zapdos. If they go for Protect Zapdos, I guess that's okay if this is Protect Zapdos, because I get a decent amount of chip into Porygon, and like, what's the worst they can do? I guess Eerie Impulse if they have it, but I guess then that's a little bit annoying, but I think it's still okay because the Zapdos isn't doing enough damage, and chip damage in Porygon 2 might put in range of Sacred Sword the following turn, which I could focus my efforts on. Let's see, because it's an interesting lead here for sure. We do see a Dynamax here. If they go for Ally Switch turn 1 though, oh man, if they go for Ally Switch turn 1, don't, please. We're gonna see a Dynamax come out. It should be Zapdos, but if it's Porygon, that's weird. Okay, it is Zapdos. Interesting to see pressure. I wonder if it's just for item, or yeah, for item confirmations, like a Choice Scarf Zapdos and some or not Zapdos, Landorus and Fairy for Intimidate Scouting, but we'll find out. Behemoth Blade going to come out into the Zapdos. This should do like 60%. It does a lot of damage. Let's see, Behemoth Blade 50-60. I think that has a bit of bulk. Let's see what are they going to go for. Airstream. Okay, we're good. An Airstream in the Kyogre, which will be taken just fine, and this has gotta land an Origin Pulse here. Just gotta land an Origin Pulse here, Kyogre. Let's see, can you land that Origin Pulse? Oh, of course not. I don't know if that KO, but that would have been a pretty big hit. Wait, what? Wait. What? What is that play? Ooh, Trick Rooms. Okay, they either expected me to double up something and then get, I think my, what? I guess they expected me to double the, well, if the Origin Pulse KO'd the Zapdos, maybe they got a free switch to something in Trick Room, but they used up their Dynamax. I don't know. Just gonna Behemoth Blade the Zapdos, and I'm just gonna Origin Pulse again. What the heck was that play? I guess they really expected me to double up something KO, but this is fine. They go for Recover. That's cool. If Kyogre, let's see if the Origin Pulse KOs. I guess we'll find out. Assuming we hit this time around. Oh, okay, we hit the Zapdos. Okay, we would have knocked out the Zapdos. I guess it's kind of the same position, but Trick Room got stalled out an extra turn. I don't know if I like that for my opponent still, though. I don't think it really gets them much here. I wonder what they're trying to set up in Trick Room. I guess their own Kyogre, but Venusaur is going to be a little bit tough for them. All right. Yeah, Venusaur is definitely going to be a bit tough. So is this going to be... Yeah, Kyogre. All right. Their Dynamax is used up already. My Zacian has taken no damage yet. This is probably the perfect time to probably just go for a Sacred Sword into their Kyogre and probably just go out into the Torkoal right here, because Torkoal should live a Water Spout and Zacian will be able to take the Water Spout. We get Sacred Sword damage off into the Kyogre, which I think is really nice. And I don't get to play too passive. I get to have Kyogre in the back if it's like necessary to actually deal damage. My only problem is, I guess, if I get too weakened for the Zacian, that could be a problem. They're going to recover here, which I'm not too surprised. They got to kind of preserve the numbers right here, especially after like loss of momentum immediately from losing the Dynamax. The Water Spout going to come out into the Torkoal and the Zacian. I am able to take it just fine. Yeah, able to get the Citrus Berry off from my Torkoal. And then I wonder if Foul Play KOs me. I feel like it doesn't. A Sacred Sword going to come out into the Kyogre. Does a good amount. It's not in body press range, which is unfortunate for me. But yeah, I'm going to Sacred Sword the Porygon here, because I don't know if Kyogre protects here, if it goes on the offense, because I already have lost kind of track. You know what? No, I should probably target the Kyogre. I think I target the Kyogre and protect. I think it's Mystic Water. I can't be 100% sure. But I do want to keep the Torkoal around to be safe. Let's find out what they're going to go for. They did have Protect, yeah. Okay, so it was probably Mystic Water. My calc's wearing off. All right. Try attack into the Torkoal. All right. Sacred Sword into the Protect. That's cool. I guess if I stall out the turns, it's not too bad here. It's the last turn of Trick Room, too. So I'm actually going to go for a Protect with Zacian. And I think I just Body Press the Porygon. Yeah, I body press a Porygon because if it recovers, it's fine. They retreat the Kyogre. Is this Zacian? Imagine if I click Burning Jealousy there. I don't think I really would. I don't think I have a reason to. But yeah, they really expecting Yawn, because that's a really aggressive play there. It works out for them, but that's a really aggressive play right there. We protect our Zacian here. We're going to go for a body press into the Porygon. Did you recover here? I imagine you recover here. Or you try attack for the KO, which would benefit me. Okay, they did. So they go for the try attack into the Torkoal. Torkoal goes down. I don't think I can Dynamax Venusaur now. I think I have to Dynamax Ogre. Oh, that's a little awkward. I guess I can... Well, actually, no. I could go out into Venusaur here. I can go out into Venusaur here. And Sacred Sword should KO the Porygon. I can go for... I guess I'm going to attempt to Weather Ball here. Do I need Vine Lash? I don't need Vine Lash at all. I need a Pokemon that actually can hit the Zacian. That's more important to me. I think I'm just going to go for a Earth Power, I guess, into the Zacian and Sacred Sword to Porygon. I'm max speed on my Zacian. I don't think they're max speed on their team. But I think this will benefit me more. Yeah. Go for an Earth Power. I could Sleep Powder here, I guess, too. But I really don't want to click Sleep Powder unless I have to. And I feel like getting the damage in the Zacian is actually pretty nice. We'll see if I'm wrong, though. This is an awkward turn. I imagine Porygon switches on to Kyogre, but yeah. Which is fine, because I get a Sacred Sword off into Kyogre, and then I can Behemoth Blade if I survive the turn with Zacian. If Zacian goes down here, I just get Kyogre in, and then I guess it comes down to whether my Kyogre survives Behemoth Blade, which I feel like at the range it is. It probably does. Air Max Speed 2. Oh, that's really bad that they're max speed. Is this game doable? Yes. But that's really bad that they're max speed. And I lost the speed tie right there. If we won the speed tie, we were actually in a really good spot. Okay. I guess I should went for Sleep Powder. Special defense drop. That's fine. Kyogre in. Oh, this is awkward. Okay, Kyogre, you're going to have to live one. You're going to have to live one. We're going to go for the Max Geyser into their Zacian, and we're going to go for a Leaf Storm into their Kyogre. Sleep powder doesn't really benefit me here. Oh, this is not what I expected this end game to be. I was like, okay, if they went for Trick Room like that, like, are they actually like max speed Zacian? I didn't think they would be, but yeah, they're max speed Zacian. And I lost a tie. Oh boy. I was just like really surprised to see Porygon there, because like Trick Room doesn't, I guess, like against Tailwind mode, but I was not expecting the Jolly max speed right there. All right, Kyogre Dynamax, this is going to be really crucial here. Also, like, how fast is their Kyogre is also a big question. Does it have Thunder? Those are other questions that we have to ask ourselves, and it's a close end game. We're gonna see Behemoth Blade. If it's in the Venusaur, this is probably the best case, but it really depends on the moveset of the Kyogre. So they do target the Venusaur, so good thing I didn't Dynamax Venusaur. If I Dynamax Venusaur, I lost because Behemoth Blade would have just O-code. So that goes down. I am faster with my Kyogre. I do get the Max Geyser off into their Zacian, which is able to eliminate it. I might be able to KO their Kyogre because it's not Assault Vest, it looks like. But what's your move? Ice Beam. Okay, that means that you don't have Thunder. That's really good for me. No freeze? Okay, no freeze. And then this should be Porygon. Yep. Okay, Porygon is in. We're fine. If this is Ally Switch, it's, if it's Ally Switch, it's okay too, because I just max Geyser the Porygon 2 here, as Tri-Attack is probably one of the most annoying options, as well as like recovered Trick Room Stall. And then next turn I target down their Kyogre and I should seal it, unless they're like baiting me to never target, or they were going to go for the Ice Beam Freeze and then into Thunder. But we'll see here. Porygon goes down, and then remaining Mon is okay. They Origin Pulse this time around instead of Ice Beam. It does a lot, but I think Max Geyser probably KOs their Kyogre. If not, Origin Pulse with the Max Geyser to protect probably finishes. Oh, this is close. I don't know. I mean, this is a really powerful Max Geyser from Mystic Water Kyogre. It does a lot here. Let's see. What is your option? Are you going to go for the Protect? I don't know if Max Geyser to Protect plus Origin Pulse is better. I mean, technically you can go for the accuracy risk, which is probably a better position for the most cases, because you get that 50% chance to live. I think it is probably a better option here. I guess I don't know if I have Thunder though. But then again, if I have Max Lightning, they would just lose here automatically, right? So Protect would probably make sense, or they're going to go for the chance here. Okay, let's see. Can Max Geyser KO the Kyogre? It does. Ooh, that could have been really bad. That could have been really bad right there. If they Behemoth Blade my Kyogre, I just basically had to hope that I lived the Behemoth Blade. Since they Behemoth Blade Venusaur, I was able to KO. Thankfully, they weren't Thunder. If they were Thunder, I would have had to call like mind games between A, if it was Ally Switch P2, B, does the Kyogre Protect? There were just like quite a few mind games there, but I would have had to probably risk it. Yet, yeah, the turn one, really awkward. And I mean awkward. That was such a strange spot, and I guess it was just a weird position, let me just say. I really don't know what to really expect from that, but it ended up working out, thankfully. Thundurus, Zacian, Kyogre, Shedinja, Cortana, Incineroar. This team did get second at Liverpool, and this has done pretty well recently. I think it top cut the most recent European regional championship. I forget what it's called. And then you also have, it just does, I think it also made day 2 as well at the EUIC. So this is a pretty strong team. Heatwave Torn definitely really helps out against Cortana and Shed, of course. So that's pretty effective there. Their Thundurus is a little bit annoying to handle for the most part, but let's see what we can do here. They do have to really worry about Venusaur though. Venusaur is actually a really big problem for them. Vine Lash does so much here. I think I'm just going to lead with the Zacian plus Tornadus here. I don't think it's a bad lead at all. Tailwind Pressure is really nice. I just get to dish out a lot of damage. Do I want to bring in Incineroar? I guess that's a question. I don't know, because I don't think I need it, but it might be useful. Actually, I might need it for... I would really like... Actually, I don't even know if this is right. It's because if Torn goes down early, it's actually really difficult to deal with the Cortana. But if I'm bringing in Incineroar, my answers to their Kyogre specifically are really weak. I think I'm going to bring Venusaur here. Yeah, because I can Vine Lash the Shed, so I don't need the Torn around as much. Oh, that means I'm forced to Dynamax Venusaur, or I got to keep... I can't even... Yeah, I do have to actually be careful here. I definitely need to keep my Venusaur around and make sure I can get a Vine Lash off if they did bring Shed. because Shedinja is just one of those annoying Pokemon right here. Incineroar plus the Thunderous is not exactly the lead I want to see here, but it's okay. All right. I do bring the Zacian and Tornadus right here. Let's see. I could go for double protect turn 1, and then just really depends if they hard switch out or not, because if they hard switch out, it could be a little bit ugly, but otherwise I'd be okay. I think they would parting shot out here. I really want the damage into Thunderous because Thunderous is just so difficult for my team here. I could go for like I could go Kyogre here if possible, but if they parting shot out it's a little bit awkward, I suppose. I think double protect is fine turn 1. I think this probably is not fake out. This is probably parting shot out and something with the Thunderous, maybe Thunderbolt into Torn. That's what I would imagine here turn 1. Well, let's see if I'm correct. I'm gonna go for the double protect and let's just see how it goes. It's not Dynamax Thunderous. It should be support on this team. Fake out gonna come out into this Torn, and a taunt comes out into the Torn as well. That's an interesting decision. Is that max speed Thunderous? I remember on this team I don't think it is supposed to be, but all right. I don't want to Dynamax here. I could Sacred Sword, but really there is no point here. I don't really need Zacian for too much in this game. So I'm actually going to go for the Behemoth Blade and a Heat Wave into Thunderous and get some chip off if I can. I need damage here specifically into the Thunderous. That's actually really important because Thunderous is just so difficult for my team. Even if I just put in Violent Lash range, it's actually really nice. I did go for a Thunder Wave. Was it Thunder Wave or Scary Face on this team? Thunder Wave? Okay, a little bit tricky. Zacian is going to take that Thunder Wave, but I can Tailwind the next turn, which is nice. A Heat Wave is going to come out into both Pokemon here. And let's find out how much Behemoth Blade does. It is a neutral Behemoth Blade, so I don't think I'm picking up the knockout, but this is still a good amount of damage into their Thunders, which again is a problem Pokemon for me. That's still really good damage here. Okay. Nice. Citrus Berry. Oh, critical hit. It is Citrus Berry too. That is not ideal here. All right. A Thunder Wave taunt. Parting shot should be coming out. Oh, Flare Blitz immediately. Okay. Into Torn? No, into Zacian. Okay. Cool. Zacian is survives, which is nice. Sacred Sword probably KOs the Instant here, unless I think Instant was Shucker Berry on this team, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to actually just go for the Sacred Sword into Incineroar here. And I'm going to go for a Tailwind. Because if the Thunderous goes for a Thunderbolt and a Zacian, I prevent that situation. So I always get the KO onto Incineroar, and if Thunderous goes for a Thunderbolt into one of the targets, it's okay, I think, because at least I got the knockout on Incineroar here. Unless they go hard in a Shed here, but I don't imagine because I just went for a Heat Wave the previous turn. So I'll go for a Tailwind. I'll try to set up for Kyogre next to Venusaur endgame. This is tough. This is really tough. I gotta make sure I get a Vine Lash off. Well, it depends. I don't know if they actually brought the Shedinja at this rate. Because, like, Shedinja is not going to do much here if you don't have, like, reliable offensive partners. Okay, Tailwind, Sacred Sword into the Instant. Oh, I missed a knockout. All right, a Thunderbolt going to come out into Torn. Does that pick up a knockout? It does. Okay, this could get a little bit tricky here. This could get a little bit tricky. We're going to see a Flare Blitz come out into the Zacian. All right. So that's not ideal here. Does Incineroar go down to recoil? It does. Okay. I don't know if that's good or bad for me. Probably worse for me, realistically. Yeah, that's probably worse for me, realistically. I'm going to go Venusaur and I'm going to go Kyogre here. And then this upcoming part of the game. This is where, yeah, it's going to get tricky. So we bring out the Venusaur. We're going to bring out the Kyogre. They can only Thunder Wave or Eerie Impulse one slot. Zacian does come in. Okay. All right, this is where it gets tricky because they could be... The Kyogre can Water Spout and dish out a lot of damage into their team, which is really important. I think I go for Origin Pulse and I go for a Vine Lash. No, I have to call this right, I think. Or do I? You know what? Because, like, here's the thing. Thunders could go for a Thunder Wave into one of the slots. If the target's down to Venusaur, Water Spout can go off from Kyogre and could maybe knock out their Zacian, which would be absolutely huge. If they Thunder Wave my Kyogre and double it up, then sure, I get the Vine Lash damage. And the problem is then Kyogre is taking attack here, and that's not ideal. So I have to get this kind of right here, I'm pretty sure. I think I go for a Vine Lash here, though, into the Zacian. I'm pretty sure I go for a... I'm going to risk the Spout. I'm gonna risk the spout. I could also go for Thunder Wave Miss, which is also like pretty ideal if possible. So yeah, I think it's just worth risking here. I think I just risk either T-Wave Miss or that they target my Venusaur here and I get Divine Lash off. I guess the awkward part is if I do KO both with Water Spout here and it's Shed in the back and I used up that could actually be a little bit awkward. But I think it's Kyogre in the back though. Like I would really expect Kyogre to be in the back at this point. They go for a Taunt. Oh, they thought I was going to Sleep Powder. Wait, I don't get how that covers every... How does that cover? I don't know. I think you would rather go for the Sleep Powder dodge here because now I'm KOing the Zacian with Water Spout. Like, yeah, now I'm guaranteed to get attacks off into your Zacian, and now I think you just lose. What? I don't think Taunt was it. I think you go for Thunder Wave. I think they were going for a hard commitment read on like a play that I didn't even have to make there. I guess like what they were expecting was like, okay, if Water Spout knocks... Oh, because they taunted the Venusaur. They expected if they survived the Water Spout, maybe that's what they were trying to hope for. But yeah, I had a chance to go for the Dynamax there. It's Kyogre is the last Pokemon. It's not the Shed, so I didn't have to worry about it too much. But Venusaur was still a good Pokemon bring here. But yeah, I'm going to Quake here the Kyogre, and I'm going to go for a Water Spout. And they're probably going to Dynamax Max Guard here. And then the last turn, I think I Quake again, unless I want to go for a Vine Lash. I could go for the Vine Lash here too. It's like both aren't too bad, but yeah, Kyogre gonna Dynamax. However, I don't really see... Yeah, I mean, I felt like they just had a really good position and they went for a Taunt, which I don't think was really necessary at all. A Quake is gonna come out. Like, I think I would rather just risk a Thunder Wave there in most cases. Maybe they expect to protect Kyogre and Sleep Powder there, and I guess if that's the case, yeah. But I think I do have a loose con off that, so yeah, I'm just really surprised not to see a Thunder Wave in general. But all right, this works out pretty huge for me. We're gonna see a Hailstorm come out in the Venusaur, and that is not gonna do too much with the Quake boost, and they didn't crit me. Okay, good. Is this Thunder on the Kyogre? I think it's Ice Beam, Origin Pulse, Water Spout if I'm not mistaken on the original team, so I don't think they can pick up a knockout into my Pokemon, especially with the Vine Lash adding up. Their Kyogre is really behind in the Weather War right here. I think their Kyogre is probably faster than mine. If I remember right, the original team did have Timid. However, yeah, this still works out pretty good for me. I'm gonna go for a... They gotta go for a Protect here, or Max Guard, I'm pretty sure, because Vine Lash Water Spout does way too much, especially with the extra Vine Lash damage, but nope. All right. And then hope that I miss attacks. But yeah, this is going to finish it. They don't have a move that can one-shot both of my Pokemon and go for this turn. And yeah, Water Spout actually just able to seal up the deal onto the Kyogre, pick up the knockout. But yeah, Thundurus is a little bit annoying. Thundurus is definitely a little bit annoying because it's a support one, Thunder Wave, Eerie Impulse, and I tried to get rid of it, but like, yeah, like I had to try to brute force it with Zacian, which wasn't that great. I could have went Kyogre. I guess I could have went Kyogre earlier, because since they went for the taunt into the Torn, I guess I could have went for a Water Spout right there. I could have went for Water Spout the next turn, Tailwind, and been in a really good spot. But I really thought they were just going to Parting Shot out turn one. I didn't think they had to go for the Fake Out, but yeah, it just ended up, I guess that one taunt turn really just helped out. Groudon, Entity, Venusaur, Grimmsnarl, Entei, and Xerneas. All right, we have Entei and Xerneas here. All right, what do I want to go against this? Zacian, of course, really good with Kyogre, but the Venusaur can be a little bit of an issue. We do have Tornadus, which is actually really good in this matchup. We have a lot of good tools, actually. Our Torkoal, I'd say, probably doesn't get brought in. It really doesn't accomplish much, but our other Pokemon are very solid here. I see a lot of potential options here, especially with Venusaur. Sleep Powder, that could be a thing I could go for. I do kind of really like the idea of going with like Torn plus Zacian immediately, and I really do think that's the best option here. I'm going to go with Torn and Zacian. In the back, I'm thinking like Kyogre and Venusaur maybe, but would I Dynamax the Kyogre? I feel like I could be seeing myself Dynamaxing Torn depending on his position, but I definitely want to bring Kyogre in the back. And then the last Pokemon's between Venusaur and Incineroar. Now, Incineroar is better here for the switch, and I am kind of liking it better here. Although I could see myself getting into a position where Sleep Powder could be really nice, and it's not like I can change the terrain unless I Dynamax Kyogre, so Fake Out could actually be pretty useless in this matchup, and the only thing that could matter is really Intimidate. So that's why I'm thinking I'm leaning towards Venusaur more, and it also could punish the Groudon if it gets into a comfortable position in Sun. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Venusaur. We'll see how this goes. I don't think Torkoal's really it. The only thing it can really do is burn Jealousy to Groudon, and that doesn't even matter, right? If the Groudon doesn't Dynamax or click Sword Stance, it's really not going to be getting stat buffs, and wasting this slot on the Torkoal is not really that great. Although Torkoal can kind of wall my opponent's team. We're going to see the lead, though, of the Venusaur in DD. All right. I am pretty comfortable with that, actually. I do lead the Zacian plus my Torn here. I think Tailwind is pretty obvious here. I don't know if are they going to Sleep Powder turn 1? I guess is the question. I could fire off a Heat Wave here and try to sub. I don't think that's a bad play. They could go for the Groudon switch, but the thing is the Groudon switch and the Tailwind is not exactly amazing for them. So I think I'm just going to go attempt for the Heat Wave right here, and I'm just going to go for a substitute if I can. I don't think they would make the Groudon switch right here with Tailwind and Behemoth Blade as an option. I think they would rather just go for a Follow Me potentially, and I don't know what they do with the Venusaur. Could be a Dynamax, could not be. But the Heat Wave is really important because it actually puts the Indeedee in range of the Behemoth Blade guaranteed. Otherwise, it's like potentially a roll, or like I just might miss a knockout. We'll find out what happens though. However, I do think that this is a pretty alright position for the most part. We are going to see the Indeedee switch out. Okay, is this into Groudon? It is into Groudon. Okay. This could get ugly. Are you Sleep Powdering, or are you going for something else here? Because if you're going to go for Sleep Powder, oh boy. But if you max here, okay, they did go for Sleep Powder. They went into the Torn, actually. Okay, that's not bad for me, actually. All right, I'll take it. We will go for the sub here with our Zacian, and I don't need Tailwind up in this game at all. I imagine the last Pokemon is going to be Xerneas at this point. Okay, so that's not a bad trade-off here, because if I did go for a Tailwind in sub, sure, I had Tailwind up, but the thing is they also would have my Torn would have taken a sleep turn here, so this is not too bad. I guess I go for a Protect here. Do I think I Protect here. I think Protect is fine here. They can't really do much. If they take the knockout and the Torn, then I just get in Kyogre, and then I click Spout, and then they're in a lot of trouble, I think. So for the most part, I feel like it's just a safe Protect here and just attempt to wake up a Torn, because the Heat Wave is also really important here. Because I'd rather go for a Heat Wave and break the potential Sash on Venusaur, as well as get chip damage into Groudon and go for Tailwind, because I'd outspeed everything with Zacian otherwise. They don't Dynamax here. Is this just Weather Ball into Precipice Blades, or are they going for a target into the Tornadus, which is pretty important? Weather Ball going to come out into the Zacian, okay, and a sleep on the Torn, as we're going to see a Precipice Blades be fired off. Okay, perfect. That is cool. All right. So I would like to wake up a Torn if possible. We're going to go for a Heat Wave once again. We're going to go for the sub here, because if they are going to make the same play here of attack the Zacian slot and try to KO it with the Precipice Blades, they got to try to deal with the Zacian, because Zacian is a pretty scary Pokemon. So I'd imagine that this is my best shot. They probably make the same play again, unless they Dynamax the Venusaur here. But if they Dynamax Venusaur, I don't think it's too bad. They're probably going to make the Weather Ball, and it's not really going to change too much, other than they already used up their Dynamax here, which is probably pretty positive, because I could go into Kyogre potentially afterward, or I can go for... I have a lot of options, I guess. It really just depends on what move are they going to pick. Yeah, they're just going to go for a Weather Ball again. Perfect. All right. So if I get the Heat Wave off, I'm in a really good spot. But if I don't get the Heat Wave off, this could get a little bit tricky. This could get a little bit tricky. Let's find out. We are going to get another sub up with our Zacian. Okay. Come on, Torn. Don't take 3 turns. All right. All right. Rock Slide. Oh, that's even better, actually. Torn avoids as well. It would have KO'd, but that's pretty positive, because my sub is still around. All right. I'll definitely take that. I guarantee to wake up here with Torn. I'm going to go for a Heat Wave, I guess, again, and I'm going to Protect. This has been a really awkward stall out to sleep turns with Torn, but it's been pretty effective for the most part. They can't KO Torn, I think, with a max move, and they can't KO with Weather Ball because of the Rock Slide miss. But I mean, 3 turns to sleep on Torn has been pretty unlucky for me. So let's see if we can get the Heat Wave off in the Venusaur. We're in a very... If we get a Heat Wave off in general, we're in a very good spot. And I don't think they're Dynamaxing here at all. So this ends up working out perfectly. We are going to be able to keep our sub here. Let's see if they Sleep Powder attempt. They attempt to Sleep Powder my Torn. Yep, because they thought I was going to go for Tailwind. But I go for the Heat Wave here. And I connect with both, which is nice, because I do break a Sash on. I just OHKO'd a Venusaur. That is not Sash Venusaur. And that did a lot to the Groudon, actually. That did a huge amount to the Groudon. All right, that's perfect. And they go for Sword Stance. Okay. That's cool. I don't really mind the Sword Stance right here. That actually... I think now I'm in a game-winning position here. I don't... Venusaur can still be used as backup for the Groudon, but yeah, this is a really strong position. I could just Tailwind and Behemoth Blade here, and if they go Indeedee, I probably just go for a double up in the Groudon with a Heat Wave plus a Behemoth Blade. I guess Expanding Force could break my sub here because I did take Rock Slide damage earlier. Actually, Entei comes in. Okay. I go for a Tailwind here with my Torn, and I go for a Behemoth Blade into Groudon. I don't really need Zacian as long as I have Kyogre, and Kyogre Water Spout is going to do a lot here. The Groudon's in range of Behemoth Blade because of that Heat Wave damage, doing so much to their Groudon. So they are really not in a good spot. Yes, Heat Wave Torn has definitely been the interesting tech on this team specifically. I think Heat Wave has been really cool. We've seen a lot more Heat Wave Torns recently over the Icy Wind, which was more common because of the favor of speed control. But Heat Wave, not bad, especially on this team. It really helps with like Life Orb. Heat Wave does a lot to Zacian. You have a Max Flare option. Setting up for Venusaur is cool as well. There's like a lot of cool things you can do with Heat Wave, and yeah, it also helps breaking the sub and having a decently accurately but powerful attack. We're gonna see the Dynamax come out from Groudon. No, it should always be Entei, but Entei's not even in a good position. The Dynamax Groudon, Behemoth Blade, I think just Okozi at this range. You're under half. You're basically almost at half. If you survive, it doesn't even matter, I think, because then Kyogre comes in under Tailwind and Water Spouts and wins the game, and I click Sleep Powder, so the Xerneas can't comfortably switch in. But I guess they're really hoping for the survival here, which I'm a little bit surprised, because doesn't it do the same amount of HP through Dynamax with Behemoth Blade? I'm pretty sure it does, so this should KO the Groudon at this range. Let's find out. Behemoth Blade does come out into the Groudon, does pick up the knockout on the Groudon, and yeah, that's, I think... Oh wait, they didn't even bring Xerneas, I just realized. They brought Entei, so as long as I KO'd the Venusaur, my Kyogre was probably going to win anyway, so yeah. I didn't even have to play around with the substitute. I was just like trying to keep Zacian around because the Xerneas, if it was able to get somehow positioned with Sun with Kyogre, then it would have been a little bit troubling. But yeah, this works out perfectly. Sun fades, Kyogre is still around, and looks really tricky for them. Indeedee is probably going to come in. I'm going to go for sub, I guess, and I'm just going to Heat Wave for chipping the Indeedee in case Indeedee goes for protect. The Entei goes for an attack here. If they go for like a Sacred Fire Expanding Force, I don't really mind that too much. But again, Kyogre is just going to come in, but I might as well just utilize this effectively if I can. We're going to go for a Heat Wave here, and we're going to go... Actually, it doesn't even matter. No, it doesn't even matter, right? Yeah, it does. It really doesn't matter. Their Dynamax is over. Kyogre pretty much just wins. Even if I call this wrong and they protect the Indeedee and KO something with Entei, Kyogre just comes in and clicks Water Spout. So no matter what, they can't do anything. They do protect here, so I could have went for the sub. But like, no matter what, I'm trying to think about like, what can Entei do that changes this game? Like, I don't know if Entei can do anything that changes this game, especially without Dynamax. Not saying the Dynamax, he was pretty rough for my opponent. We're gonna see what from the Entei. Gonna be a Sacred Fire into... Yeah, like if they KO the Zacian here, I could have went for the sub, kept my Zacian around, but not really a difference here because Kyogre Water Spout plus Hurricane is going to threaten so much damage. If they have extreme speed and they crit me, like even then, I still have Dynamax available back. Life Orb Hurricane plus a Water Spout is still going to KO the Indeedee slot if they go for a double protect, but even then, like they can't even extreme speed actually because of the Psychic Terrain. So yeah, this is pretty much over. There is really no way that they are going to be able to survive this combination right here. And even if they stall out the Tailwind, I just KO back. So yeah, I just really can't do anything. This Zacian Tornadus lead just able to really power through right here. They did not have the best outs, but yeah, Hurricane going to come out and Indeedee does so much damage, especially with the Life Orb Torn. Life Orb Torn, be able to KO the Venusaur was really nice here, but a Water Spout will finish off the Entei and the Indeedee. Yeah, even if we took 3 turns of sleep, my opponent actually was not accomplishing much there. They knocked out the Torn, they were in a rough spot, right? Because Kyogre next to Zacian, especially if Zacian was behind the sub, would have been pretty rough for them to deal with. So I had a lot of pressure right there with the lead, and the Torn Zacian lead was like really effective as a lead in a lot of cases on the stream matches. And it's a really good lead. It's just really powerful. Zacian can do a lot of damage. It's set up for Kyogre to clean up for the rest. And that's exactly what happened here. And that is the show. Offensive Tornadus is pretty cool on this team. I think Airstream combinations are really sick, especially with the max flare option for Venusaur in case you don't bring Torkoal into matchups. Just having dual weather control is just really nice in general. Torkoal, it's a bit of an underdog. You don't bring it too much, but it is useful in some cases, and it was nice in for basically the Trick Room in case of Porygon, and could have got a little bit tricky if it was like Rillaboom, but mainly I think it's for Thundurus, which we didn't really get to face in this episode. But Thundurus incarnate form, if it's defiant, one of the few answers to the team other than like trying to brute force it with Zacian is going with the Burn Jealousy Torkoal in that case. But yeah, team performed pretty well. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. No surprise that this team's done really well in the most recent tournaments. If you want to check out the details of the team down below in the description, and if you want to check out the rest of my series 12 content where I use a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon, make sure to check it out. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people, and until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.